Two people, same income, same job, but one retires a millionaire while the other works until they're 70. The difference is that four-wheeled wealth destroyer that is sitting out in your driveway. Did you know that the average American is now paying over $750 a month for their car note? That is $9,000 a year of your money that could be building wealth, but instead it's just disappearing. The truth is that dream car that you are eyeing right now is actually your retirement nightmare, and that choosing the wrong vehicle today could cost you over $500,000 in retirement savings. Today, I'm going to expose the 3 hidden ways that your car is bankrupting your retirement. What's up, everybody? I'm Rashida, and I'm your guide to smart money moves. I began my wealth building journey at the age of 17. I've grown that portfolio to 7 figures, and I did this all on a public servant salary. So I know that it's possible for you to get there too, and I'm going to show you the way. So let's go. Today, I'm going to show you one of the biggest smart money moves that you can make. I'm going to help you understand how your car might be the biggest wealth killer that you never suspected. The average new car payment has skyrocketed to over $700 per month, and nearly 20% of Americans, that is 1 in 5 people, are paying more than $1,000 every single month for their vehicle. And so think about that for a moment. That is $1,000 every month just to get from point A to point B. It's because you've been told your entire life that your car represents who you are, that the vehicle you drive somehow determines your success, your status, even your identity. And car manufacturers spend billions of dollars, yes, billions, every single year on marketing to make you feel this way. They have mastered the art of not just selling transportation, but the promise of admiration, respect, and envy from others. But here's what they're not telling you. That same $700 a month invested for 30 years, it becomes over $870,000. Guys, that is nearly $1 million. These prices are getting so crazy out here. Do me a favor, drop a comment below. Let me know how much you're paying every month for your car payment. But here's what they don't want you to know. That shiny new car starts losing value the moment you drive it off the lot. It is a fact that most cars are going to depreciate about 60% within the first 5 years. And so let me tell you about my buddy Mike. Great guy, smart engineer, makes 6 figures. Last year, he went out and bought an $80,000 pickup truck. That means by the time he drove home only about 20 miles, he had lost $12,000. That is around $700 per mile. And so let's break down car depreciation so you can understand it. That $45,000 BMW that you just financed, well, in 5 years, it's going to be worth less than $19,000. And so that's nearly $30,000 in value that's just gone. And it gets worse. To be able to afford these increasingly expensive vehicles, Americans are stretching these loans out longer than ever before. The average term now is approaching 6 years, with many extending out to 7 years or 84 months. Guys, remember when 4 years was the standard? And the problem with that is the longer that the loan term is, the more interest that you're going to pay to the bank. On an average new car loan, you could be paying anywhere from an extra 9 to 11 grand just in interest. That's $11,000 that does absolutely nothing for you because it doesn't build equity, it doesn't grow wealth, it's just gone. Now let's talk about the total cost of car ownership, that silent little wealth assassin that nobody talks about at the car dealership. All right, so let's get into it. First of all, you're going to have to carry insurance on the car. That's going to be about $1,800 per year. You're going to have to fuel it up unless you're in an electric car. Gas is going to be $2,400 a year. Maintenance, another $1,200 a year. Registration fees, $200. And obviously you're going to have to pay for things like parking and tolls along the way. So that's another $100 a year. And so when you factor all of those costs in, that's another $5,700 annually on top of your car payments. And so that $50,000 luxury car that you always dreamed of having is really going to cost you close to $80,000 to own and to drive for 5 years. And this is where most people miss the bigger financial picture, because every single dollar that you spend on an expensive vehicle is a dollar that isn't growing for your financial future. And so this whole concept is what financial experts refer to as opportunity cost, and it is the hidden wealth killer that most Americans never see coming. And so let me show you what I mean with a real example here. All right, so let's say you have two neighbors. Neighbor A, we're just going to call her Lisa. She drives a brand new BMW that she agreed to pay $65,000 for. So her monthly payments are sitting right around $980 a month. And her total cost of ownership, because remember we talked about all those other things that are associated with the car, $1,500 a month is what Lisa is going to pay to actually operate that vehicle. All right, now let's take a look over across the street at neighbor B, and we're just going to call him Trey. All right, now Trey drives a 2019 Honda Accord that he only paid $15,000 for. He paid for it in cash, so he never paid any interest. And most importantly, right now he has no car payment at all. So his total cost to operate his vehicle is only $400 per month. And so if you take the difference between those two neighbors, which is $1,100 every single month, if you invest that type of money over 25 years at an 8% return, Trey is going to end up with $1.1 million more than Lisa. Same neighbor, same income, but completely different retirement. And that is not a typo. Over $1 million difference just from driving a more modest car. And that's assuming that Lisa keeps her BMW for the same amount of time that Trey keeps his Honda. Because if Lisa trades in for a new BMW every 5 years, while Tom keeps that Honda for 15, the difference becomes even more staggering. Now, I recently spoke with one of my viewers. His name is Marcus, and he is struggling with his finances despite making over $100,000 a year. That's becoming more and more common. And so what we did was we analyzed his budget, and when we did, he discovered that he was spending nearly $1,200 per month to drive that truck, and that was almost 20% of his take-home pay. And so by downsizing to a reliable used SUV that still met his practical needs, he was able to save $700 per month to invest. Guys, this is so huge. Oftentimes we hear this financial advice: stop buying lattes, stop shopping on Amazon, when really you can make a much bigger impact if you look at the large areas of your spending. They say that 80% of what you spend is coming from 20% of the categories. And that's true. So if you are looking to save a lot of money, you're going to have to look at cutting back on your housing, on your vehicle, the big ticket items. That's where you're going to get more bang for your buck. And so that single decision that Marcus made is projected to add over $200,000 to his retirement over the next 15 years. All right, so now that we know all this, what can we do to avoid this wealth killing trap? All right, so now I'm going to share 3 very powerful smart money moves that you can make to help transform your financial future. Strategy 1 is going to be to follow the 20-4-10 rule. And so this means putting 20% down when you buy your car, finance it for a term no more than 4 years, keep your total car expenses under 10% of your gross income. And so that means if you earn $80,000 a year, that means your car expenses should not be more than $670. All right, and smart money move number 2 is to choose your depreciation strategy, because there are 2. All right, option A is to buy slightly used but not new. A car that's right around 3 years old has taken its biggest depreciation hit, and it still has most of its useful life ahead of it. You will save thousands of dollars up front by doing this, because the depreciation savings is going to be felt immediately. Now, for my new car people, let's take a look at option B. You're going to buy new because you really love that new car smell, but you're going to be committed to keeping that car for a long time. Because if you prefer buying a new car, there's nothing wrong with that. You get the warranty, you get the reliability, and you get the satisfaction of being the first owner, and that's fine. I actually like that, but you will need to commit to keeping that car at least 12 to 15 years, and you are going to catch the depreciation savings on the back end. Because when you hold the car this long, you'll spread that initial depreciation over so many years that it barely impacts your finances. Plus, you'll get to enjoy years of payment-free driving once it's paid off. Both of these strategies work work very well, but the key is to choose one and stick to it. Don't say that you're going to do option B and then you find yourself trading your car in 5 or 6 years. No, you got to hang on to that thing. All right, now smart money move number 3 is going to be the redirect method. Whatever you save on car costs, you need to be committed to automatically saving it in a high yield savings account or investing that money. Hey guys, quick note here. Now in today's complex financial world, making smart decisions with your money has never been more important. And so that's why I've teamed up with money.com. They are your trusted guide to financial clarity. Money.com's mission is simple. They are here to help you become financially smarter through research-backed recommendations. So if you are looking for something like a high yield savings account, if you're looking to save on your car insurance, if you're looking to invest in gold as a diversification strategy. So if that sounds like something that you need help with, please go check out my links in the description. Money.com can help you transform your financial future, because when it comes to money, knowledge is truly powerful. Now let's get back to the video. All right, so now that we've gone over all that, I want you guys to understand that I'm not trying to knock anybody. I just want you to understand the opportunity cost that comes with buying a car that is too expensive. Now let's talk about a psychological shift that needs to happen if you want to make this change. The car industry has mastered the art of emotional manipulation. They know exactly how to bypass your rational brain and tap directly into your desires, your insecurities, and your aspirations. They're constantly showing you images of the person you want to be, the life you want to live, the status that you want to achieve, and they tell you that you can have it all for just $6.99 a month. They're never going to show you the future that you're sacrificing, the retirement that you're compromising, and they don't care about the financial stress that you are inviting into your life. Let's stop seeing cars as status symbols and let's start seeing them as wealth destroyers. I want you to do something. Every time that you see a fancy car, don't think of success. You need to start thinking, there goes their retirement. That fancy Lexus that is sitting in the parking lot is not a $70,000 car. That is a $700,000 retirement fund that got spent 30 years earlier. Look, I'm not saying that you should never be able to enjoy a nice car. What I'm saying is enjoy it after you have built wealth, not instead of building wealth. True financial freedom is not about deprivation. It's all about making intentional choices that align with what? Your long-term goals and values. Guys, you can have nice things. You just can't have all the nice things all the time and still expect to build wealth. It doesn't work that way, especially for everyday people like me and you. We have to be able to make sacrifices to get to that promised land, and that is the truth. We weren't born with a trust fund or a silver spoon in our mouth, and so you do have a choice in the matter. You can impress strangers at stoplights, or you can build the life that you actually want. And so think about it this way: that car of yours is driving you toward retirement or away from it. There is no middle ground. All right, guys, so there you have it. If you are still here at this point in the video, you are my people, and I want you to drop a car emoji down in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for being here. It's a pleasure. Again, I'm Rashida, and I'm out.